Hello, my name's Amy Jenkins. I'm a principal in the dispute resolution team here at Russell Kennedy and the head of the family law team. A binding financial agreement is often commonly called a prenup and is a document that's entered into by parties either before, during or after a relationship commences, whether that's a de facto relationship or a marriage. A financial agreement can provide for any number of things relating to how assets are to be divided after the conclusion of a relationship, and can also provide for things like what spousal maintenance is to be paid by one party to another, if at all. And finally can make provision for things like the Succession Act in New South Wales, which prevents one party from making an application against the other in the case of death. Financial agreements are important because they provide parties with the opportunity to make decisions for themselves about how assets are to be divided at the conclusion of the relationship. And it provides parties with the opportunity to make these decisions while the relationship is both good and positive, rather than waiting until after the conclusion of the relationship where any positivity and goodwill may have been lost. The option of having a financial agreement is also important because it allows the parties to consider what they think will be right for them, rather than asking a judge or a court to decide after the conclusion of the relationship, which often leaves both parties dissatisfied. A financial agreement can really be considered by parties at any time, during the relationship, prior to parties moving in together, pre-marriage or post-marriage. For me, I think that couples need to consider entering into a financial agreement prior to making any big life choices. So that might be the purchase of a first home, the parties having a first child. Those big life changes are a perfect opportunity for couples to consider what they want for their financial future and to put documentation in place at that time to make provision for it. Financial agreements are a document that is available to people young and old. It's not something that is restricted to a particular type of relationship or person. In saying that, binding financial agreements are often most useful for people who have a significant asset portfolio at the commencement of the relationship, or where they're entering into a second relationship where there are children, and particularly adult children, on either side of that relationship that need to be taken care of. Other circumstances where financial agreements are particularly relevant is where one or both parties is a director of a company, and there therefore might be third parties who are interested in making sure that assets that they're involved in are protected. For further information, please contact either myself or any of the members of the family law team.